Hello, today I'm going to be doing a presentation on nuclear energy, the future of energy. When most people hear nuclear, they think of atomic bombs, radioactivity, and destruction. People generally think of the Chernobyl disaster in the 1980s and the Fukushima nuclear plant that was struck by a tsunami in 2011. They even think about the nuclear bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In reality, nuclear power is the cleanest form of energy and should be used as an alternative to other forms of power throughout the world. This topic is heavy and carries a lot of weight because of global warming and the current energy crisis around the world. As an engineering student focused on creating better technology for the future, I've always been interested in the cleanest energy source to use. My curiosity arose about the subject in my chemistry classes in high school when we were learning about energy. The data shows that nuclear energy is great, but everyone is terrified of it. My curiosity was intensified by the situation the world is currently in. Nuclear energy is an alternative to other forms of energy production throughout the world. It is safer, it's better for the environment, and more cost-effective in the long run. One of the main reasons nuclear energy is good for the environment is that it is a clean energy source. Compared to fossil fuel power plants, nuclear power plants' output of pollution is extremely low. The current consumption of nuclear energy already reduces over 555 million metric tons of emissions every year. Nuclear also produces minimal waste because of how dense the fuel is. One uranium pellet, which is only about 1 inch tall, is equal to the fuel output of an entire ton of coal, 120 gallons of oil, or even 17,000 cubic feet of natural gas. Now that we understand the environmental benefits of nuclear power, let's talk about the cost of operation. Nuclear power is one of the most cost-effective energy solutions available. Nuclear power being so dense plays in a cost savings here because it is cheaper to transport compared to fossil fuels. The initial startup and construction of a nuclear power plant is quite expensive, but after it is up and running, the cost is extremely low compared to other means of power production. Nuclear power is not affected by inflation the way that fossil fuels are either. Let's discuss the safety benefits of nuclear power. Nuclear power is the safest way to make electricity. Per unit of energy created, nuclear energy has the lowest death rates from accidents and air pollution, besides solar energy. Even with the major nuclear disasters taken into account, nuclear energy has the lowest death rates. Whilst air pollution from fossil fuels is responsible for a whopping 7 million deaths per year, nuclear carries the same risk as solar and wind power, that being 350 times safer than coal. In summation, there are many ways that nuclear energy proves to benefit us in the long run if we can move past the idea that it is a dangerous way to produce energy. Every dollar spent on nuclear energy is one less dollar spent on fossil fuels, which correlates to a cleaner Earth for the future generations. To quote Dixie Lee Ray, the 17th governor of Washington, "A nuclear power plant is infinitely safer than eating, because 300 people choke to death on food every single year." And then here's the sources that I used. Thank you for joining me today and listening to me talk about nuclear energy and the possible benefits that it could be having on our Earth in the future.